Anyways, ranked updates. So this is something really interesting. So they're basically making a longer span of time for the matchmaking to do its thing. So the normal wait time is 240 seconds. And they're doubling the amount of time that you can wait. So the normal wait, obviously, it's not always the full 240 seconds. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. It depends on how many people are queuing for ranked. So they're basically giving the matchmaker more time to find an ideal match of players of similar ranks. And then, if it gets past that 480-second time, there's an additional 300 seconds of overtime, so they're tripling the amount of overtime to basically delve into players of a wider skill gap to try and just get you into a game so you can be playing. And it's not going to be the most match-made thing in the world. So basically giving the matchmaker more time to get better matches at the cost of course, it's going to take longer to queue for ranked than it already is, which is pretty long. So, might take longer, but hopefully the matches will be better. I guess that's the goal here. I don't know, I guess we'll just have to see how this works. I don't know. Alright, and also map rotation. What are they doing for the map rotation? They're adding more maps than they're taking away. So they're adding Bright Marsh back in. They're adding Bazaar back in. Crap, I hate Bazaar. They're adding Fish Market back in. Crap, I hate Fish Market. They're adding Shattered Desert back in. Crap, I hate Shattered Desert. But they're taking away Frog Island and Ice Mine, so it's not exactly like we're losing any bad maps either, or losing any good maps either, so... Yeah, I guess more maps in the ranked queue now? Cool. Anyways, finally, on to the balance. Now, they didn't go over all the balance changes in the update show, so this will actually be where I'll be able to give you a little bit more information than you already knew if you watched the update show. So here we go. Balance. Oh yeah, there's a lot of champions here. So Androxus, Quick Draw. Instead of increasing your maximum ammo by 1, hitting a player with Revolver heals you. So they're giving him... It doesn't... It doesn't look like a lifesteal. It looks like a card in a similar vein to King's Court for Bomb King, where just hitting a shot heals you for a flat amount, and then you can get lifesteal on top of that, and there's no diminishing returns. That's what this looks like. So you'll no longer be able to have more than 6 bullets in a revolver through mysterious magical means. So... okay. Honestly, I don't really know why they changed this. It didn't seem like that big of a deal to me, having max ammo. In fact, I actually really like the max ammo card, because it just feels nice to not reload as often. But I guess, I don't know, you're back down to 6 ammo. I feel like this will also really hurt, like, not going Curse Revolver, because if you go Curse Revolver, your shots are completely pinpoint accurate, and you're firing slower. But for the faster fire rate, I don't know. Maybe more unironically buying Deft Hands will occur? I don't know. Interesting change. Furia, Exterminate! Oh, they're nerfing Exterminate! Yes! This talent freaking nukes players if you don't have Resilience. And even if you do have Resilience, you're taking tons of damage from Exterminate. So I'm glad they're nerfing this. They buffed it, which is nice because it was an underused talent, but then they made it too strong, so I'm glad they're toning it back. This is definitely a necessary change. But the change I am most excited for in the balance. My boy, Grohk! Yes! This dude is getting the buff of a lifetime. It should have been like this from the start, honestly. So what they're doing with Grohk is his healing totem cooldowns are now occurring simultaneously. So the way it worked before is if you spammed out both your totems, say you place down 2 totems back to back, boom totem, you would wait 10 seconds to get your first healing totem charge back. And then you would have to wait an additional 10 seconds to get your second healing totem charge back. So it's 20 seconds to get both your healing totems back. And they didn't really heal for that much. So, like, I don't know, kind of made him a bad healer. So what they're doing is, you place a totem, 2 seconds later you place another totem, both of them go down simultaneously. So they're effectively halving the cooldown. Instead of 20 seconds to get both healing totems back, you're waiting 12 seconds to get both healing totems back. Obviously, the cooldown of one totem is still going to be 10 seconds, but your totems are going to tick down simultaneously. So part of what made Totemic Ward a horrible healing talent, like I don't even recommend it as a healing talent, is because the cooldown was just so long. Totemic Ward encourages you. You feel like you want to place down multiple totems to heal somebody, because one totem still isn't enough to heal, one person for a lot. So you want to put down like 2 to 3 totems on one person. But the problem is, if you put 3 totems on one person, you're waiting 30 seconds before you can do that again, and that's your only source of healing. So with this change, You place down one totem, 2 seconds later, place down another totem, 2 seconds later, place down another totem. In, let's see, like 14 seconds, all 3 totems are back again. So you're cutting the cooldown down by 1/3 for a totemic ward. Or I guess by 2/3? Math? I don't know. I don't know terminology. But this is a massive buff for Grohk. And I'm not sure. I'm hoping this also applies to Gale, the card that reduces the cooldown of your totem by like 3 seconds if you Ghost Walk. I'm hoping that 3 seconds will also apply to all totems instead of just one. I'm not sure if that's the case. We're going to have to do some testing on the PTS for that, because it doesn't say here. I would imagine that's the case, but I don't really know. Yeah, it doesn't say here. But, yeah, it should have been like this from the start, and this is huge for Grohk. You're going to see a lot more heal Grohks, because it's actually going to be way more viable now. I'm so hyped. Grohk is my highest level healer. He's my 2nd highest level champion, behind Bomb King. Oh boy, that's going to be fun. And also, keep in mind, Damage Grohk also gets a buff, because Damage Grohk, part of the reason you go Damage Grohk is because of the Sustain. So you're going to have totems more often for Damage Grohk too. And for Tank Grohk, if you go Tank Grohk build with Totemic Ward, more totems, it's just, it's so good. It's so good. As a Grohk main, for my healers, I am so excited. Anyways, moving on, we've got another amazing quality of life change for Grover. So, as it stands right now, with Grover, if you press your ultimate, it drains 100% of the cooldown, and then if there's an opportunity for you to die, not even get any healing out of your ult, but if you press that button, you wasted your entire ult. So, yeah, it feels really, really bad as Grover. If you ult, and then immediately die to something, and then you just lost your ult, nothing happened whatsoever. You didn't even heal anybody. So they changed how the ultimate charge is expended. So now, with this change, activating Whirlwind will now expend 20% of the ultimate charge immediately. So you're down to 80%. And then, as your ultimate goes on, it'll drain more and more until you're down to 0%. So if you ult, heal somebody for like a second, cancel the ult, you'll actually have a little bit of ult charge remaining, I think is how this works. So, yeah, players will retain any remaining ultimate charge if they die, or cancel the ability before it finishes. So you can ult, heal somebody up for a little bit, cancel the ult, and then get some of your ult charge back. Or if you die, get one shot or something like that by a Bomb King ult, then it won't waste your entire ult. So, yeah, it feels really good. And I guess they obviously had to make a note, 100% ultimate charge is still required for activation. It's not a snow globe, so, yeah, this is gonna feel so good. Grover players, your ultimate is fixed. Yay! I'm excited for that change too. Not as excited as this change for the instead of the Grohk change, but still awesome. Alright, Deep Roots also got nerfed. Reduce maximum bounces down to 3. So Deep Roots is not as strong anymore. I guess that is kind of a big change because Deep Roots is his best talent. I don't know, I guess encouraging people to go his other talents more often. I still don't feel like you're going to see the healing talent too much, but maybe some Ferocity Grovers. Might see more of those, like a Ferocity healing hybrid build thing. I don't know. Alright, let's see. Oh, this is a good change. Kinessa, True Grit is getting cut in half the amount of healing that you get. So the way this card works is if you max it out currently, and you hit someone with a fully charged sniper shot, it heals you for 500 health. And then you can stack Life Rip on top of that without diminishing returns. So you've got Kinessa players healing themselves for like half their health per shot, which is ridiculous. And then you combine it with Steady Aim, where you're doing 1400 damage per shot too. It's absurd. It's so hard to kill Kinessa in the early game when you don't have much cauterize. So, yeah, they're cutting that in half. Instead of 500 per fully charged shot, you're getting 250 healing, which is still good. You can still stack that with Life Rip and get a ton of healing, but it's not going to be overpowered like it used to be. Good. Another Kinessa nerf. I like it. I've been bullied by Grandmaster Kinessa players recently, and so I welcome this Kinessa nerf with open arms. Oh, Lex. They're doing the same thing with Lex. Ooh, sorry, I bumped my table. They're doing the same thing with Lex. The Hunted. The card that gives you 50% lifesteal against your retribution target, going down to 25% if you max it out. Another really good change, because you can either have high burst or you can have high healing, but you shouldn't have both. That's what Lex had. And honestly, this change is coming a little bit late. I kind of expected it to happen last patch when they released Octavia, but I'm glad it's happening now. So, yeah, they're nerfing his lifesteal. So you're still going to have ridiculous DPS with Discovery, if you're the Retribution target, which kind of sucks to be you if you're the Retribution target, but he's not going to be unkillable. You're not going to shoot Lex, and then because he's shooting you, his health bar is still going to go up. So, yeah, if you have a decent amount of Cauterize, it's not going to be as scary anymore. 25% lifesteal is still a big deal, but it's not 50%. That was ridiculous. So that's pretty good. Alright, Octavia changes. This is literally exactly what I've been asking for. So, Octavia, Marksman Rifle. They've nerfed her DPS. As it stands, on release, Octavia has 1666 DPS when you don't consider headshots. She can 4-shot squishy champions in like 1.3 seconds, which is ludicrously fast, and she can 3-shot you if she hits 1 headshot in less than a second. So they're nerfing her damage per shot, which is really necessary. I'm glad they're doing this. I still think it's going to have a pretty substantial amount of damage. It's still going to feel like you're doing, you know, a decent amount of damage. It's just going to take like one more shot to kill someone who has like 2,000 health, which is fine. Honestly, not that big of a... I mean, it is a big deal, but at the same time, it's not that big of a deal. It's still going to feel good, but it's not going to be overpowered. They've also reduced bullet spread and recoil on her Marksman Rifle using designated sights, and they've also reduced the damage fall-off. So you're going to have a bit more range. You're still going to be doing less damage overall because, you know, 500 damage down to 425, but you're going to be able to poke people from a longer distance. Which, you know, even though she's got good burst at close, medium range-ish, you know, she's not exactly able to compete with Kinessa. So she's going to be able to compete at longer ranges for a bit better. You're going to be able to sit back, really poke at people, and it's going to feel nice. And also hip fire. I've been asking for this buff, too. I wasn't exactly asking for, like, a damage increase on the hip fire, but what I was asking for is this right here. Increase accuracy. Yes! Make it more accurate, please. It feels like, you know, when they released Octavia, you try and shoot when you're not scoped in, and 50% of your shots are missing. Not because your aim is bad, but because it has Strix syndrome, where, like, you scope in, perfectly accurate. Not scoped in, you know, here's your reticle, here's your bullet. What's up with that? So, they increase the accuracy. I feel like you're actually going to be able to hit your shots in hipfire now, which is nice. And when you do hit your shots, I guess you get a little bit more damage, too. Honestly, I don't really care about this. Although maybe, I don't know. I guess I didn't really notice how much damage she really does in hipfire, because you can never hit your shots to see how effective her DPS is in the first place. So, I don't know. Maybe jumping the gun a bit on the damage buff, but dang, the accuracy buff. Yes. Thank you, Hi-Rez. Literally exactly what I was asking for. Tiberius. Oh! This came out of nowhere, but I dig it. Reduced slow on the heavy blade, down to 30%. That's great. Because whenever I get hit by a heavy blade, it feels like I'm just practically rooted. Like, it might as well be a root. It feels so horrible. It feels like you have the hope that you can get away, but you actually can't get away. I like that. And they're also reducing the slow duration down to 2 seconds. So pretty heavy nerf for a heavy blade. But as someone who really hates the fact that Tiberius has it slow, I'm okay with that. It feels good. And the very last balance change goes to Zhin. This is a way bigger change than it looks like. So, you know, they just write it here simple. Oh, reduce damage from 25% to 20%. Remove ultimate charge rate increase. I mean, you can still get morale boost, but yeah, you're not able to spam your ults as much. But the big thing, that 5% reduced damage really adds up. As it stands, with Zhin ult, you slash 5 times. 5 slashes, 25% damage per slash, 125% damage in total. So, say a tank, like Makoa. He gets ulted by Zhin, he's taking 100% of his health, plus an additional 25% of his health. So there's that little bit of overkill, which compensates for damage reduction and healing. So if you're a tank, it's pretty much impossible to live through a Zhin ult unless you're Yagroth. But with this change, he's only doing 20% damage per slash. 20% times 5, 100% of your health. Still enough to execute you if you don't have damage reduction, and if you don't get healed. But if you get 1 heal, you get Haven. You live on a sliver of health, I think. I think Haven will be able to counter this now. And definitely healing will be more noticeable on Guillotine. So tanks might not get one-shot anymore by this. Because, obviously, this wasn't really a problem before with someone like, I don't know, Strix, where, you know, each slash is only doing like, I don't know, what's 25% of 2,000, like 500 damage. So a healer could easily save a Strix from it, but saving a tank from it is almost impossible. But with this change, it's going to be much easier to save your tanks. So this is a really, really big nerf to Guillotine. Like, really, really big. So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, I think they went over a few of these in the update show, but they still didn't go over all of them, so I get a little bit more to go over here. Grohk. Fix an issue where Shock Pulse would bounce to other enemies off of an ethereal target. I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess if someone's in an ethereal state, like Sarah's Shadow Travel, Grohk, Ghost Walk, I guess Shock Pulse bounced off them? Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. And I guess same thing with Grover. Crippling Throw. Yeah, bouncing off of ethereal targets. So they fixed that. Cool. Imani. They did go over these in the update show. So they fixed an issue where Imani dying while her ultimate was active displayed, you know, that little picture of a crystal, and it didn't say Imani or anything. It just showed a crystal died to this person in the kill feed. Now it'll properly say Imani. So that's good. They didn't go over this one in the update show. Fixed an issue where Frost Bolts, oh yeah, would bounce off of ethereal targets. Okay, we get it. Lex issues. I didn't know he had issues, besides being overpowered. Fixed an issue where Lex could not re-roll a target he killed in a 1v1 game properly after they respawned. Oh, so they're fixing, like, custom game issues then, where you 1v1 somebody, and then it wouldn't actually give you the target properly? Okay, that's good. 1v1 with Lex, you can do those now, because apparently people 1v1 with Lex. Fixed an issue where the Law would not hit enemies in front of Lex if he was slightly obscured by cover. Making the Law more reliable. That's great, because sometimes I'll be using the Law, and I'll be pointing it at someone, it looks like it should hit, and then nothing happens. And I'm like, what? What happened? So, that's good. Alright, cool. Moji. Fix an issue where the Greater Good card would not activate on use of her familiar spit when the enemy had the maximum number of magic marks if it killed the enemy. I forget what the Greater Good is. Alright, let's see. Let's do some looking up here. Paladins.gamepedia.com. Moji! Oh, hey, look, they've already added Vatu into the Gamepedia. That's great. Okay, where's the Greater Good? Greater Good. Gains 6% lifesteal against enemies with a maximum number of magic marks. Okay, so this wasn't proccing properly? Would not activate on use of a familiar spit when the enemy had the maximum number of magic marks if it killed the enemy. Oh, so if you killed someone, you didn't get the lifesteal. I didn't know that was an issue, but that does sound like a pretty big problem. If you're like in a duel, or like if you're in a 1v2 situation, you kill one person, you don't get that extra healing, that could result in your death. So, okay, that's good. Octavia. Fix an issue where the reticle in all marksman rifle scopes was not completely centered on screen. The change that I didn't even notice. Okay. Fix an issue where the golden marksman rifle would not play the golden VFX when Octavia killed an enemy with that weapon equipped. I didn't know that was an issue because I don't have the gold skin, but I guess Creepers is probably happy. Fix a typo in the Air Supremacy card text. Okay, cool. Yaggorath. Fix an issue where Khan throwing an overpowered enemy at a planted form Yaggorath would incorrectly knock back Yaggorath? Okay, I knew Talus could knock back Yaggorath. I didn't know Khan could knock back Yaggorath doing that. That's interesting. Fix an issue where cooldown reduction would not reduce the cooldown of Trail of Acid. Okay. So I guess we're still a bug with that. And then fix an issue where Corvus and Talus could teleport out of Devour with their respective teleporting abilities in certain circumstances. Okay, I knew Talus could kind of do that. I didn't know Corvus could teleport out of it, though. That's actually kind of an interesting interaction. Yeah, interesting. Okay. And then, last but not least, general balance changes, or bug fixes. There's only 4. Updated the shooting range champion selection screen to allow for all 49 champions to be selectable in the shooting range. Because I guess there wasn't enough room for Vatu? Okay. Fix an issue where players cannot load into the match lobby when queuing for test maps in the custom screen.
Alright!
Okay. I've had that issue a few times when I've been trying to make a sumo or something, and then it'll just like, I don't know, kind of just chill there and it won't actually send us into the game. Fix an issue where the countdown time for region unlocks on trial screen did not properly display on consoles. Cool. Good for console people. Obviously I didn't know this because I didn't have a console, but hey, I like the fixes. And last but not least, fix an issue where selecting the event pass level reward in trials linked to the incorrect page with bad UI.
Alright!
Yay! Alright, so that is the Shadow Update notes. Obviously, we will be covering the PTS once it comes out, so make sure to follow me on YouTube and on Twitch, because I'll be streaming it on Twitch, uploading stream highlights and other PTS-related content on YouTube, so make sure to follow me on both of those. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to so many of these balance changes. I don't think there's like a single bad balance change here. I like what they're doing to Octavia. I like these nerfs. I like the nerfs to the healing on life, on the Kinessa and Lex. I like the Grohk buffs. I like pretty much all of this. I mean, except for the Androxus chains. That one's confusing me a little bit, but the rest of them, awesome. Ranked, interesting, I guess. The new skins, a lot of them are questionable, but yeah, I mean, I guess if you like them, if they're your cup of tea, then hey, you should be excited for this. I mean, Lifeguard Tiberius isn't that bad. Lady Liberty and Nara, the voice lines are nice. This mount in particular, it's so much of a meme that I definitely want that. And hey, if you're a Ying main Talisman, look forward to next patch too, because you got your gold skins incoming. And yeah, of course, obviously there's a new champion too. I'm seriously impressed at the rate they're cranking out champions. That's been 3 patches in a row now that they've added a new champion. Freaking Vatu over here. Yeah! Really looking forward to Vatu. Seems like a fun flank to play. Again, not the most original kit in the world, but it looks like it'll be a fun kit to play nonetheless. So, that's good. And yeah, ultimately looking forward to next patch. Not looking forward to the buckskin. That's probably the worst thing about this patch, if you ask me. But other than that, yeah, pretty cool patch. But anyways, that's going to be the end of the video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and also follow me on Twitch, because, again, yeah, streaming the PTS once it comes out, so gotta reiterate, gotta make sure, go check me out there, because we will be doing PTS content once the PTS drops. And yeah, also, I want to give a huge shout out to the members of the channel for helping to support what I do. Really appreciate what you're doing, helping to support the content. Really appreciate that. And also, lastly, check out the Discord server, linked in the description. We have a wonderful community with a bunch of active people. And yeah, you can talk about the PTS there, talk about Paladins, talk about other games too. We have Overwatch players there, and a whole bunch of people there, so yeah. But anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Peace out.